That's it. I guess I'm curious if you think this athlete as employee trend will continue in force in 2025. I was surprised that our friend Matt Brown in his recent newsletter suggested that it might not.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks, and I largely agree with him, that the political environment is a lot more hostile now to organized labor, and that makes it far less inevitable that this is going to happen. And that's especially true because at the end of December, of course, the Dartmouth men's basketball team, which was kind of leading this effort, withdrew its petition with the National Labor Relations Board.
Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't withdraw from the season.
I don't even want to know what the record is. I haven't.
Yeah, we should have looked that up before I said that. But okay, let's do two quick other items, Jeff, before we go to break, because you noted to me in Kansas this like bizarre story, frankly, where Emporia State University's president got angry, in effect, at the local tech college, Flint Hills, for competing for students. And then he threatened that legislators could help him do a hostile takeover of Flint Hills if they weren't careful. It's sort of a crazy story. Did I understand it right? Because I'm not sure I did. And what's the bigger so what beyond a squabble in one state?
Well, Michael, as you know, when I saw the headline, I sent you the story and I'm like, this is like, it was like the headline felt like it was from the Onion.
Yeah.
Because colleges compete with students. That's what they do. And he was like really angry about it and went to the legislature and said, I'm going to take them over because they're competing with for me with students. And it's just crazy. But I think it just goes back to this idea that there are so many fewer students out there that this is going to become a lot more common.
All right. Well, there's still time to jump on my bandwagon, Jeff, but I digress. One other quick one before we go to break, and that is UT Austin president. So University of Texas at Austin president, Jay Hartzell is leaving to lead Southern Methodist University. If you had read this headline a decade ago, speaking of the Onion, you probably would have thought it was in there or fake news. So what does this one mean, Jeff?
Yeah, well, both teams made the college football playoffs this year in the expanded playoffs, right? So both SMU and UT Austin, both in the playoffs. But Michael, that's probably where the similarities between these two institutions end, right? UT, by the way, is 4 times the size of SMU. Being president at UT was kind of the ultimate job in the past, and it's just not anymore. And what is amazing to me is that many of these jobs at many of these universities are just not what they used to be, right? Think about it, right? At an Ivy Plus university, now you're going to have to deal with these bigger tax probably on endowments. You're going to have to be hauled up to Capitol Hill every couple of months. If you're at a regional public or a small private, you really have no money, you have no students. You have to figure out how to balance your budget. If you're at a flagship public in like Jay was in Texas, a red state, but a kind of a blue campus within a red state, and your politics don't align, so you're constantly always fighting with the legislature, right? Like none of these jobs are fine. So what does that leave, right? It leaves like these medium-sized privates that have money, and I would put SMU in that category, and maybe public's out of the limelight, but not many jobs left out there that you would actually want to be president of these universities.
Wow, that's a change. I'm going to reflect on that one. But with that, we will take a short break. And when we come back, we will talk about if there's really an outflow of academics to industry, as well as this concept of the accelerated MBA. That's all ahead on Future You.